Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, I'm not planning to make a series on David Wood. I'm just going to probably be refuting some videos here and there. And this was one of the crazier claims that I've seen him make. And there was someone in the comments who was just spamming at me, asking me to refute this. So here you go. This is the person that you should thank for this refutation. Now, Rasulullah said, the curses of Allah are upon men who act like women and women who act like men. However, David Wood would like you to believe that the person that said that was, in fact, a cross-dresser. Now, even if you forget about this hadith, can you imagine that the Arabs of 7th century Arabia were ruled by someone who was a cross-dresser? And hey, this video already has almost 300,000 views because David dressed up as a woman. You gotta be very, very confident in your arguments if you're gonna pull a stunt like that. So let's see if David had a good reason to be that confident.
The Muslim sources contain more than 30 references to Muhammad wearing women's clothing. I'll include several examples in the link I mentioned. The narration we looked at in Bukhari uses the word thawb, which is like our word garment in that it can refer to a man's garment or a woman's garment. But in context, it's the thawb of Aisha that Muhammad's wearing. Pretty creepy. Some of the sources, however, including Sahih Muslim, say that Muhammad was in Aisha's mirt, which refers specifically to a woman's garment, more like our word dress.
Moreover, if you look up the word mirt, you'll find that the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to leave home while being in a mirt. So this was something that he was doing publicly, apparently. Notice that the English translate the word mirt into blanket. Huh. Isn't that strange? I thought mirt was supposed to look like this.
By dressing up like your prophet.
In another report with a similar wording, the word cloak is used for mirt. The report mentions that the Prophet, peace be upon him, had 4 of his relatives under that one cloak. Now, I know that David is a big guy, but I don't believe that 5 people could fit into that outfit. So where did the confusion come from? Well, David explains.
The Arabic dictionary Al-Mujam al-Wasit defines mirt as a dress from wool or cotton that is used as an izar, or a cover, by a woman.
According to the dictionary definition, you have the mirt being worn in 2 different ways. One, as a cloak, تتلفع, meaning that she would cover herself up completely with it, like so, or as an izar, meaning that she would use that same cloth and she would wrap it around her waist. So again, it's just a large piece of cloth that can be worn in 2 different ways. It should also be noted that most classical dictionaries do not state that it is something worn by women either. These include تهذيب اللغة, القاموس المحيط, and النهاية في غريب الحديث والأثر. Ibn Manzur adds that a mirt is any type of clothing that isn't tailored. In other words, it does not look like this. Well, that was a huge waste of time. I mean, I can't believe I'm actually putting some effort, some of my time into responding to a garbage argument like this. It just goes to show you, I mean, this is what happens. When your heart is filled with hatred, you make these unfair accusations. Again, forget about the ahadith that condemn cross-dressing or condemn men acting like women and women acting like men. Forget about all that stuff. Just think about it. 7th century Arabs submitting to the rule of a cross-dresser. Really. Really. Again, this is what happens when your heart is filled with hatred. You are blinded. You make dumb arguments like these. You talk about things that you know little to nothing about, and you dress up in your wife's undergarments. Well, I guess that wasn't a complete waste of time. At least we got, David Wood to make a complete mockery out of himself. So yeah, at least we got that. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I've managed to squeeze this 240 pounds of awesomeness into the only garment in my wife's dresser stretchy enough to hold it.